is not like a regular case manager. I'm actually working with, out of the 9 communities in the Cape Ann area, 7 of the communities in their housing authorities. So my title is Mixed Population Service Coordinator. So what that means is that I'll be working with different age levels in the housing authorities. The mixed population meaning under 60 or over 60. And what my role is to be an advocate or a resource with the tenant and the housing authority. Historically, service coordinators in the bigger cities have a person who works actually right in the same office as the housing authority. Because we're so scattered, I think between all of the housing authorities, the people I would be servicing is about 854. If you went to the big high-rises in Boston or some of the inner cities, that's one high-rise, so that a service coordinator would be allocated to that site. So what I've had to do is figure out how I'm going to divide my time up amongst all these communities. So I thought about how would I get myself out there to introduce myself, number one. So I said, well, why don't I do this? I'm going to get some coffee and some refreshment, and I'm going to go out there and have a meet and greet. So this is my meet and greet to introduce myself, so that when people hear my name or see me walking around the grounds, or if Jessica says, oh, would you like to talk to Diane about that? People have some type of connection, okay? A little bit about me personally. I've been working in human services, working with various people and populations for over 30 years, South Shore, North Shore. I have a pretty good handle on community resources. I'm learning a lot about your individual towns, though, which is interesting, to learn about the Council on Aging and the different resources that are out there. So I've been really using the housing people to help me with that, because I think one of the things is if I'm knowledgeable about what's out there, it'll help you with any questions or concerns to how to link up what you might be interested in. I will be here twice a month. I got my little cheat sheet here. I'm going to be here the first and third Mondays from 2 to 4 in the community room. I call this the community room. Is there another name? Is that a good name?
Lamson Hall.
Lamson Hall, okay. I don't have to have an office to meet with people. If people would like to speak with me, they can call me on my phone. I'm going to pass out my card. I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I do have an answering machine in Gloucester. I have a cell phone that the Housing Authority administrative staff have. Hello.
Sorry.
He's the security guy.
Okay. And and I can also meet people in their homes or at a time that works collaboratively for both of us. So I figured, because I have to spread myself out amongst all these housing authorities, how am I going to do it in all fairness without running around like a chicken with my head cut off? I could, do it that way. And sometimes I might just walk around. If I don't see anybody here, I might just walk around and see people. I can also be used as one person said, yes, another friendly face. And I hope that you can see me in that role as a friendly face. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I don't think any question, whether it's something for you or something for a family member or a friend, I would sit down with you and try to answer them if I possibly could. At least give you a resource. The uniqueness of living in housing is that you live with various people, and I know sometimes there's communication issues where people just maybe not understand what someone else is saying. Some people have been here longer than other people. So we'll try to work on some of the differences that people may have with their neighbor, try to be more neighborly. I don't know, does the community here do anything with functions? Do you have functions here?
No.
Is that something that people might want to try to do in the future?
I think it would be nice. I think,
Some of them do just a monthly potluck. Somebody they put a sign-up sheet up, people bring potluck, they all sit around. Just kind of like what you folks are doing today. It was so nice to come in here and people were chatting with each other. You know, it's a nice thing to do.
I
And it's
think
also,
monthly might be a lot all at once, maybe summer, fall, winter, spring, quarterly.
What's a lot all at once?
Maybe in the summer we could have barbecues or
Yeah.
something, you know?
well, you know, I think that's something that you can talk to Jessica about, and I could help maybe facilitate. Again, I just like to throw out ideas to see where people are coming from. Some of the other housing authorities have a person who, or a couple people that may do like a little newsletter. Just a little piece of paper, you know, Hamilton Housing Authority updates or whatever you want to call it. And they just list out some things that are going on. And it could be the housing authority information, it could be information I put in the newsletter. And it helps people look, oh yeah, okay, that's right, we can't park on that side of the street. Oh yeah, the inspections are coming up. And this can be circulated to all the tenants. How many tenants live here in Hamilton on Ruston Railroad?
there's 40 units, so but we have 36 right now.
36 residents?
Residents, 36, 39, including, the building I'm in.
Okay, that's still occupied then. That still has people in there?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So about 30,
39
Okay.
active tenants.
with a capacity of?
More. They're working on that.
Okay. So are there empty apartments?
There are,
Okay.
yes.
I was at a breakfast that Senior Care had. It was Friday at the Gloucester House. Does anybody know where the Gloucester House is in Gloucester? Well, it's a big
Yeah,
restaurant.
from Gloucester.
Every year, I think this was the 41st year, the Meals on Wheels program. Does anybody get Meals on Wheels here?
Yes, I do.
Great. Well, they do a fundraiser to help supplement the cost of that program because they don't charge the people or don't get donations as much as the value of the food is worth. And I met a couple ladies who, I had gone to the Wenham Housing Authority, and then a couple ladies were at a table, and they lived here. And they were really upset that they couldn't be here. And so that kind of made me feel really good that the word is getting out there, that somebody's going to be around to maybe help and listen to what maybe their problems are, or just a friendly chat, or whatever. And like I said, working with Senior Care, the Senior Care has a lot of resources for people, especially maybe not for you personally, but if you're a caregiver for someone, they have a caregiver support group, they have the Meals on Wheels. There's a program that I just went through a training, it's called Options Counseling, where if someone's thinking about the future and what do I do, how do I navigate this insurance, what's a better deal for me to do, I want more information about the veterans benefits. There's a program for that, and that's actually a free program, but there's a lot that are out there for people. It's just people just don't have a way of getting all that information. A lot of stuff's out there on the internet. A lot of people don't have a computer. A lot of people have lived in the same town, and all they see is the same doctors, the same whatever that's out there in the community. So sometimes it's branching out and saying, oh yes, you can get this service. They'll come to your home and provide that information. So I think that what one person said that my position would be is that I would connect the dots. So if there's different dots that need to be connected, kind of like making a picture, you know, with the dots, 1, 2, 3, and you can make a picture. So hopefully I can help people with that, and with that, again, it's going to be a two-way street with me and the Housing Authority. If Jessica and Kate, has everybody met Kate? Okay, she's someone who's stepped into a lot of big things that need to be changed, and she's doing a wonderful job, even though she's only been here since January. I've only started in my job since January, so when you have people that are energized and motivated, we want to get people on board and try to put the past a little bit behind us and say, what do we do to go forward? What is going to make living here better for people? And your opinion does count. So that's where getting to know your neighbor, having ideas, throwing it out there. I don't know what's on the docket for the Housing Authority as far as changes or renovations here, but maybe some of those things can be discussed in a format that you get that to Jessica, because she's here, and then that gets to Kate. As far as the community goes and educational things, if there's individual things people are interested in, I could help maybe facilitate some of those things happening. So I guess I'll wear a lot of different little hats. I can't promise you that I'm going to make it 100% better.
Oh, crap.
But we can say we're going forward and make living here a little bit nicer for everybody. One thing that I had seen at one of the housing authorities they do is they have a nice little welcome packet. So when someone moves in here, they have like a little packet that kind of gives like the rules, and I think they do that in Ipswich.
Ipswich and Wenham does that.
And Wenham does that. Okay, so that might be something too. I don't know, do you get a lot of new people in here?
Sometimes we've been idling for quite some time.
Idling,
But we're
that's a good word,
I think it
idling.
might be good refresher just to have one.
That might be a good refresher.
I've never
plan
had
on
one.
doing that. I'm surprised, Kate must have all of a sudden done the welcome one, but she would have, I'd probably send it here too,
Yeah.
at Ipswich, because we've never, Ipswich and Hamilton did not have that before.
Yeah, and I think there's gonna be some more collaboration. Kate oversees Ipswich and Hamilton, so what maybe is working well in Ipswich may work well over here.
Yeah,
I
she's,
know,
like trying to make it as one.
right, and I know Jessica goes over with the folks in Wenham. She works part-time over there. I know they're doing a lot of changing over there and getting things going and how the communication works, because I think that communication is probably the key thing, that when people hear the wrong information and then they run with that, a lot of, mistruths or whatever. So we're gonna try to, if you hear anything out there, get that information to me and we can maybe straighten it out. And, we're not gonna be 100%, like I said, but at least we can have a nice place to live. I've heard lots of good positive things about living down here. I mean, number one, you couldn't be any closer to the downtown. You're very lucky
That's a good thing.
for people that don't have a transportation, that you can walk down there. You've got Crosby's Market, you've got a CVS or some other type of thing. So you're very lucky to have that. And you're very lucky to have, a nice area here. You've got it kind of rural, but you're not in the boondocks, so to say. And you have to look at it. You have a home, you didn't have to really pay any utilities, it's kind of all for one, and try to make it so that people are okay with staying home. And that's another thing I like. Senior Care wants to make sure that people, if they want to stay home, work around, have all the services work with the person at home so that they don't have to go to any type of long-term care. There's a real big push in the state to get people out of nursing homes who have maybe lived there and really don't belong there, to offer them services and supports in the community, so which is nice to hear. That's my little spiel.
Well, I'm going to say, I'm Janet.
Hi, Janet.
I'm a videographer, but I worked in the health field for years, so
Okay.
I worked, I was an ombudsman.
Oh, okay.
So I really have a lot of knowledge about,
Oh, good.
I'm sure many people here do as well, but the thing is, I'm just putting that out there, so I'm on top of what you're talking
Oh,
about
good.
in
Well, that's nice to hear. How long have you lived here?
10 years.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and it went by very fast.
I guess so, huh? 2005 then, huh?
Was it 4? It's
4?
probably going on
I
11.
haven't been.
I came in January. You know what? I came in December or something like that.
Of
So
04
it's-
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. It's
I
really,
came in August, because I've been here 10 years too.
Anybody else been here around 10 years, or
Yeah.
gentleman in the back with a thumbs up? And anybody, I think that's what I see. A lot of people, this has been their home for a long period of time. And maybe they came in when they were in their 60s or 70s, now they're in their 70s and later 80s. And things are starting to change, and we're getting a little bit more using the canes to keep ourselves around, and the walkers.
Yeah.
We need hearing aids, and so, I think there's a lot out there for people, though. You just have to want to accept some of the support and services that are out there. That's probably the biggest thing to say. Yep, I need some help doing my grocery shopping. My daughter or my son can't do it anymore, or my neighbor, so let's see what we can do. And kind of letting go a little bit and letting some people come in. I see you also have a lifeline. Very good. That's a very good thing to have.
It makes
too.
me feel safe,
That's good, good.
and I've had to use it.
Oh, good. Well,
Oh, and it
well,
works.
that's good, because once they call that and you're there, they'll
Yeah.
send somebody down, which is wonderful. So I think that that's the other thing, is that you want to kind of still maintain some independence. And,
But I think the atmosphere in Hamilton, since I've been here, is that, yes, it's a senior housing, but it really accommodates multi-ages, multi-disciplines of what's going on. And so you don't really feel like you're in senior housing. And I think the most people come in here thinking that they got a small apartment. And some of the components of senior care, you know what I mean, sort of like, it's a reality check all the time, you know what I mean? Like there's that delicate balance between wanting to be alone and continue doing whatever you're doing, and then being in a point of transition where you're getting into those places where people are going to have to come visit you, they're going to have to be on site a lot of times, and like this past winter was a nightmare. The town did not really shovel properly this street, and I thought to myself, I don't need this kind of care. But the people who did need nursing care, I don't know what they did about parking for their help.
are you a registered voter in
Yeah.
Hamilton?
Yeah.
But that might be something even
No,
calling after.
I've already addressed everything.
I'm
I
sorry.
address it as
Well,
it
that's
comes.
good. Well, that's what you have to do. I think that that's what people forget to do. Is
That's what Patch is for.
What's Patch?
It's an online newspaper.
Oh, okay, okay. Does anybody go to the Hamilton COA, Council on Aging?
I will this summer, because I have
Okay.
a power chair and I'll take that.
I'm sorry?
I have a power chair and I can use it in
Oh,
the
I
summer.
see.
No,
Is this
no,
not a brand new building they
Yeah.
made?
Yeah.
It's just, if you don't have a car to get there, it's, well, you can,
It's not safe outside.
no.
How
Claudia does use her power
But
chair.
how far is it here? About less than a mile?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But it's
just,
gotta be
It's
good
1,000
weather.
steps.
1,000 steps?
You counted them?
I did.
What a
She must
woman.
have her little
What a
stepper.
woman.
Do you have your little stepper wristband? How many steps you have to do?
No,
a
I
day?
counted.
Literally
I
counted.
counted them. It was also 1,000 steps from the Salem train to get to the street while they were under construction.
Well, that's a good thing to write up. It's only 1,000 steps. Let's start counting backwards, right?
with the tips from Janet.
Do you have a phone number?
I do. I actually have a card. And what I'm going to do is, in this room, most of all of the housing authorities, it's a common area. I'm going to put like a little bulletin board up, and the title's going to be "What's Happening," and I'm going to put some of my stuff up there too. When I'm going to be here, if people think that there's other people that they want to give a card to, I've just got some paper ones here. These I'll give to people that came today, but and just any other little information for that maybe I could share with people,
Okay.
so that it's a sharing thing. And like I said, some of the stuff's going to be individual, and some of it will be that. Some of it will be, well, I think that 5 people had addressed this, and maybe I could talk to Jessica about the issue or whatever. So, like I said, this is brand new. Did anybody here remember it? Because it was a person that worked before me, but the agency was, I think she was paid through Leahy Behavioral Health. A woman named Sandy. Does that name?
Yeah, I met her.
Okay.
I've seen her a few times,
Okay.
but never knew how to get in touch with her or what exactly her position was.
And so what happened was this position, they call it a grant-funded position. It's actually, Senior Care now manages it, so, and I've been asked to kind of develop it to a capacity that I think that'll make it work. So that's why I said, how am I going to split myself into, all of these pieces fairly? So I said, well, my card number one, I've actually had people call me And I do call you back, let me tell you, it might take a day or two, but I will call you back and, set something up. But I like to listen to what people have to say, because I think that's the biggest thing. Once people maybe talk through what their issue is, they feel good about it, and then maybe it's a different perspective on that. I'm not gonna, I had one lady call me up and was asking me at their housing authority when the potholes were gonna be filled in.
Yeah.
I said, well, let's see.
They're killing my back outside.
I know, I said, well, I think once old man Winter leaves us.
I know.
Yeah.
I said, but anyways, we started talking about potholes, and then she just ended up telling me all about her life and just little things. I asked her some questions, how she was doing, how long she lived there, and it was a nice conversation. But I think she felt really empowered and felt good about that someone listened to her. And that's sometimes all it is just someone listening to someone.
Do you have an email address? It's not on your card.
I don't have it, but I can give it to you on the back. I didn't put it on these cards, but I can give it to you. Let me just get down here and see. Hi, Mrs. Wong, how are you? Thank you. And these people down the back of the room. Oh, you guys have some nice puzzles here. Let me see, I have to give it to you. It's,
I think this is the wrong crowd for puzzles. Claudia.
well, they're all done.
Do you like
We need
puzzles?
to work on some more.
I
There's quite
haven't
a
come
few.
over to do a puzzle in ages.
I know, we gotta get
Since
that.
June's
I
been
know.
gone, I just lose
June
the
was
interest.
fun.
And then we used to have a TV in here, and then
Then they
it
turned off the.
turned off, and the old director.
You know what we really need here, by the way? A piano.
Let me write it on the back.
Well, someone can
Carol,
come
let
and
me
tune
write
it.
it on the
That's
back of my
not-
card for you, dear.
That's,
I thought someone
It's not a
tuned
good-
it.
Pen you might
Might
have.
have a long time ago, but it didn't work
Does it
well.
not work
It's
now?
too old. I mean, I enjoy playing the piano, and there's been other people living here that can play the piano.
Yeah,
And we'd like a piano.
I will.
Go get one.
I bet you if you went on Craigslist, you find a free one. Oh,
You
I
know-
have a piano.
We do, we
It-
probably need to tune
It's
it.
yucky.
Well,
Oh, it
if
might
we
be
painted
local.
it a color, would it be not yucky?
What?
If we painted it a color and got it tuned?
No, it's, it won't hold a tune, it's too
I
old.
want it yellow.
Oh, we need to tune up. Huh?
It probably needs the tune.
I don't think it'll hold the
You can
tune up
stencil
anymore,
on it.
because It didn't hold the last time.
You
did
can
it.
stencil on it.
We'll check that out.
When I was
I was
younger,
actually thinking yellow.
the big thing was, this is do piano lessons. So,
Yes.
piano teacher, Mr. Riley, I don't know if he's still living, but he used to come to our house, and we had an upright piano. And we got it, and we painted it white. But that was really nice, and it had the little seat, and Mr. Riley would sit down, and would be, I don't know, it was me, my sister, and my brother. Oh, and my younger sister, she was too small. And we'd sit there, and we'd do our piano, and
Yeah.
I never was good at it.
Oh,
I don't think
that's
Charles
okay.
did.
I know, I think I did